But before Muna reads the citation, I would like to ask today's guest of honor, Ron Burgundy, to join us. Stand over here. All right. I know it's hard. I know. It's really hard.
A big moment for me.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. Ron Burgundy, in recognition of your achievements, which include anchoring the KVWN Channel 4 Action News, playing the jazz flute, and of course, having good hair, Emerson College wants to honor you on this very day, the 4th of December, in the year of 2013, by naming its School of Communication the Ron Burgundy School of Communication for one entire day. It's kind of a big deal.
Thank you so much. I love you, whoever that was. I love you. I love everyone today. Do you really love Lamp, or are you just saying it? If I say a few words.
Please, indeed.
I have a few prepared remarks here. And I told myself I would not get emotional. I'm literally in a glass case of emotion right now. I want to give a sincere thanks to President Pelton and Muna, and of course Dean Glenn. I remember it was only a short while ago that I was covering your lunar orbit of the moon, and around and around you went, and no one thought you could do it. You're a real American hero. To be finally recognized for my work as a journalist is truly extraordinary. I can't believe it's finally happening. And of all the colleges to give me this esteemed award, to be recognized by the Electoral College, it's extraordinary. I mean, I thought you guys only met once every 4 years to pick the president. But to be here at the Electoral College, am I getting that right? Emerson College, my mistake. To be here at Emerson College, it's wonderful. And to know that the Ron Burgundy School of Communication will stand here for the test of time. 1,000 years from now, when the planet is controlled by robots and mutants from the X-Men series, one thing will still be standing, the Ron Burgundy School of Communication. I want to thank you, Dean and Mr. President, for allowing this to be something that will last for 1,000 years. Is that true?
1 day.
Oh, just one day.
1 day. And not a minute more.
Not a minute more. Well, I'll take it. For those journalism schools out there across the country who didn't have the guts to do what Emerson has done today, I will never talk to you. Finally, I just want to say a few words about my father, Claude Burgundy, who said I wouldn't amount to anything. And, Dad, if you can hear me up there, I wanted to figure out the right words, the right way to compose myself, to articulate myself in a way that would honor his memory. But I just want to say, Dad, you can bite me. That's all I could come up with. Because Ron Burgundy has his own School of Communications named after him, and I want to thank you so much. Thank you very much for this historic day. And I believe the Queen of England is somewhere in the crowd. No, she couldn't make it. Okay. That's all I have to say. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, now we're going to take some questions from the press.
Ron?
Well, you know, I've been out of the game for so long. You know, I think a little bit of entertainment in journalism, it's nice to spice things up every now and then, right? It's fun to show that little puff piece of a little kitten hanging, you know, water skiing with a squirrel on its back. That having been said, I think what this school stands for is real journalistic principles and the constant defense of the Fourth Estate. Without that, there is no democracy.
Ron?
Yes?
What?
Where
right
are
here.
you?
Ron, what news?
Who are you?
Right.
Is that you, Dad?
Right here. No, it's not your dad.
Oh.
Sorry.
You look a little bit like him.
Thank you. What are your main news sources, and what do you make of the fact that most young people say they get their news from Comedy Central?
Well, I don't know what Comedy Central is, to begin with. My main news source, of course, I still read the paper, and I get a lot of news from carrier pigeons. Well, first of all, I appreciate your fake accent. You gotta have a hook nowadays, and that's a good one. You've practiced. Look, I think what the first documentary of my life captured was that I was wrong. My attitude towards women was absolutely based on ignorance and a I've learned from my ways, and women obviously are on the same level playing field as men when it comes to the newsroom. Was that a small child that snuck in here? That having been said, and this is not being chauvinistic, women are better in the kitchen than men. They just are, yes.
And Ron, I just wanted to get a little closer to you. I'm Jackie Bruno. I'm the weekend evening anchor at NECN. And my question is, will you sign my T-shirt, please?
If you'll make a $100,000 contribution to the Ron Burgundy School of Communication.
Well, then I'm rich and famous like you one day and a network news anchor.
I guess I have no choice. I'm signing a T-shirt.
And how do I become a great anchor woman like you're a great anchor man?
Well, you're already hogging the stage. You're doing a really good job. There you go.
Thank you. I'm a big fan.
Maybe wear a shorter skirt.
Okay.
Ron,
what? I'm just pointing out the obvious.
Ron, Scott Malone from Reuters News.
Yes,
How good
Scott.
a job does the media do of covering dignified world leaders like Toronto Mayor Rob Ford?
What was the first part of the question? What job?
How good a job does the media today do of covering dignified world leaders like Rob Ford?
You know what? I don't think there's enough Rob Ford coverage. I barely see any stories on the guy. I feel sorry for him. Doesn't feel like he's getting enough attention. I don't know exactly what he did to get all this attention, but no, I think it's lacking.
Ron? Jay from WPRO in Providence. Should people believe everything they hear on the news?
I think they should believe 71%. 29% they should watch with a leery eye. But 71% take it to the bank.
Ron, Salt with Mix 104.1 here in Boston.
Yes.
I was wondering, now that you have...
Salt?
Salt, yes,
Yes,
actually,
right.
yes, like a spice.
Salt.
I was wondering, now that you have a
As in
school...
rock salt?
Yes, a little
Yes.
bit. It's a little rocky. Not too
Or
bad.
like a salted rim?
Yes.
Yeah.
Only on the weekends.
Yeah.
Yes. Now that you have a school of communication named after you, we at Mix 104.1 here in Boston, we would like to offer you the opportunity to host your own show anytime you would like, including this afternoon, and we would switch the format to whatever you want. We were thinking maybe Burgundy 104.1 would be a good way to kick it off. Would you be apt to do something like that? Maybe get into radio?
Well, Salt, that is a wonderful, wonderful offer. But I don't know if you realize this, radio is dead. So the answer is yes, I'll be there in a half hour. No more questions?
Hi, I have a question, actually.
Yes. Oh.
My name's Andrea Shea. I work at the public radio station, WBUR here.
Okay, public radio. Okay.
That's
Okay.
all.
Yeah.
I actually have a question for either Mr. Pelton or Mr. Glenn, just about how
Please.
some people are not very happy about the idea of the school poking fun at journalism with this. And so I'm just wondering how you've been responding to that. Thank you.
That's below the belt.
Now, that's a journalistic question. I'll just say this is a transcendent moment for the School of Communication.
And if anyone takes issue with me being here today, I'm happy to take them out to a nice buffet lunch at the Union Oyster House for a $22 meal and a complimentary cocktail, and we can discuss the merits of my being here.
Hi, Ron. Jim Loke from WCVB here in Boston.
Yes, Jim.
I apologize for asking you this question. I apologize to my colleagues here. One of my colleagues, Randy Price, who's a veteran anchor in this city, it's been said several times that he bears a striking resemblance to you. And I don't know if you could see this here. I have a photo of Randy Price from 1978 when he anchored in Toledo, Ohio.
Oh, I can see it. I have 20/10 vision, so... Yes?
Your thoughts, are you and Randy Price separated at birth?
There's a striking resemblance. I'm sure Randy copied my look. Does he still look like that today?
He still has the glorious mustache.
Yep.
The hair's white.
Well, God bless him. God bless him. I think you're not seeing enough facial hair in news today. I'm sure my colleagues will concur, right? Yeah.
Ron, I have a question over
except
here.
for women, yes. Right.
This is Vanessa from the Boston Globe over here.
Yes.
Hi. I have a question. You are so educated in the world of journalism. Where did you go to school? Where did you graduate from?
Well, I graduated from Our Lady Queen of Chewbacca High School in Hagglesworth, Iowa. And I never really had much formal training, to be honest with you. I bandied around the United States in my early 20s and ended up in San Diego, and that's where I walked into the news station there with Ed Harkin and said, "Hey, do you need anyone to read the news?" He said, "We sure do," and that's how it happened.
Ron, I have a question. I'm with WZLX Radio in Boston, the Carlson and McKenzie show.
Sure.
You have 24 hours to be the dean of the School of Communication.
Mm-hmm.
What changes are you planning on making to the school?
Well, first of all, I didn't realize it was just 24 hours, and so I'm going to have to make some huge changes very quickly. Going to make some permanent changes that will last. Sorry.
I know.
Every grade will be pass-fail from now on. And if you fail and bring your teacher a nice steak sandwich, you get a pass. There will be no school on Tuesdays through Friday. It'll just be an 18-hour day on Monday. And everyone will get a free computer. A Commodore PC that they can take wherever they want. Am I going to do it?
Put in a pool.
Do you guys not have a pool? Oh, well, of course. We're going to not only going to put in a pool, yes, and we're going to put in a bowling alley too, and a jacuzzi. And when you graduate, you'll get a free car.
Hello.
That's just the beginning.
Hi, my name's Jen. I'm a student journalist here at Emerson College. I work for WECB News Radio. And my question for you, as the new dean of the School of Communication, what can you recommend our student journalists to strive as reporters out in the field once we graduate?
Well, of course you have to report the facts. Unless it's too hard to find the facts, then just make something up. It really is about hygiene. Make sure you condition your hair at least 3 times a week. Use a rinse. Use a leave-in conditioner if you can. I think it's time for the gals and the men to start wearing perfumes and colognes. And don't be afraid to be stylish in front of the camera. All of those things.
Ron, Gene Levanchi from Fox 25 here in Boston. Emerson College, class of 86, I might add.
All right.
Yes. And For those of you who are uptight about this from a journalistic point of view, let me quote another movie when I say, lighten up, Francis. Kids, look that up if you don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But Ron, you started anchoring... Yes.
Apocalypse Now. Great
Cannot
movie.
get anything by you.
Yes.
With that in mind, for a guy who started anchoring in San Diego in the 1970s, you look fantastic.
Thank you.
What is the secret?
Well, you know, I pamper myself. I do a lot of yoga. I read The Secret. I drink very expensive, finely made cognacs and brandies and scotch, and a little bit of HGH. Just a dash underneath each armpit.
Under each armpit. I just want to
Yes.
make sure the format. You have any questions?
Ron, Vivi from Fox 25. First of all, an honor. I only wish that I could say I graduated from the Ron Burgundy School of Communication. I might fudge my resume going forward.
Well, I can facilitate that.
I would like that. You are in Boston, the land of the baked bean.
Yes.
Do you plan on indulging later?
I have a whole kettle of baked beans brewing backstage. In fact, I'd like to invite the whole lot of you backstage for my baked bean party if you're not busy. In fact, the new jacuzzi we're planning on building for the college year is going to be filled one night a week full of baked beans.
Well, there's only one thing to do then, right? Cannonball!
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ron, over here. We're
Yes.
getting to this side now.
Yes.
Student journalist time. I'm Mike Canalupo. I'm currently working for CNN iReport, so nobody's going to watch this, but it's okay. We live in a sad time of journalism where journalists seem to care more about petty things like facts and research instead of important things like style and hair. So I want to see if
Your hair looks great, by the way.
I was just going to ask you, do you
Yeah.
think it cuts? Does it cut it?
Was that Supercuts? Or a flow? Did you use a Flowbee?
Flowbee. Yes, lots and lots of wax.
You can tell from here.
So
you look like a beautiful bald eagle with a flowing plume.
Thank you, Ron. That's it. That's all I have.
All right, Ron, hi. Chip Wingfield here for EIB News. Thank you. Ron, I know that your heart lies in San Diego, but my heart, deep within my loins, lies here in Boston. If you were on a date with a girl, what would you say about this great city? And I'm a little, rusty on my German translation, so I was hoping you could enlighten me.
Well, it goes without saying Boston was, of course, colonized by the Japanese in the early 1600s. Boston, the Japanese word for flight of the sparrow. I put Boston in my top, 400 cities in the world. It's just stunning every time I come here, and now that I know that this School of Communications will be named in my honor for just 24 hours, I will always return and think of it as a fond place.
Hi, Ron. I'm Joy Sanchez with WEBN Boston. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My question for you is, what is your greatest piece of advice to all journalism students sitting before you right now?
My greatest piece of advice is keep a $20 bill in your shoe.
What do we need the $20
You never know.
bill
You
for?
never know. You're on a field report. You're in a jail in Peru, and you realize you need some cash to get you out of a situation, and you've got that $20 sewed into the sole of your shoe.
Awesome. I will keep that with me forever. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. And great question.
Mr. Burgundy, we're Anthony Chase over here. Anthony Chase and Maggie Morlath. We're the hosts of Good Morning Emerson, and Maggie has a very important question for you.
Okay, great.
So Anthony and I don't always get along. He's never called me a dirty pirate hooker.
Oh.
But we wanted to know if you have any advice for how a male anchor and a female anchor can get together and...
On a professional level.
Strictly professional?
Most of the time.
Okay.
98% of the time.
Is there something we need to know about here? What's going on? Well, you know, it's a little bit like a marriage, if you will. You have to there's a give and take there. You have to listen to each other's ideas and thoughts, and yet, at the end of the day, if there is a real juicy story, you simply have to have a fist fight to figure out who's going to report it.
Thank
and
you,
I
Mr.
think
Burgundy.
the young lady would kick your butt.
Probably.
It's okay. You don't have to ask a question.
Hi, Ron. I'm Shannon OConnor with the Entertainment Monthly. I was just wondering, what are you going to do with your 24 hours here at Emerson other than change a bunch of things and give us baked bean parties?
You know what? I also forgot that in order to instill all these changes, we're going to have to raise tuition to $600,000 a semester. No? Oh. Well, that's what you told me backstage. No. Okay.
No, I said reduce it to 6,000.
Oh, but we're going to reduce it. And free turkeys on Thanksgiving. I forgot your question. Oh, what am I going to do with the rest of my time here? Well, I'm going to take a duck boat tour. I'm going to walk the Freedom Trail. I'm going to climb to the top of the bell tower of the Old North Church. One if by lantern, two if by sea. I'm going to sneak into Fenway and steal a hunk of sod, fry it up in my hibachi that I keep in my Winnebago, and eat it. I'm going to deep fry it and eat it. And I'm going to go to out nightclubbing with Big Poppy. So those are the things. That's kind of on my short list. Oh, and shopping on Newberry Street.
Mr. Burgundy? My name is Toby Bedford. I'm the news director at WERS. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you also. Thanks for being here. I just want to say thank you.
And I want to say you're welcome, and I want to say thank you back to you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You've talked about Boston, how much you love and how appreciative you are that we've named our school after you, even though you are a fictional news anchor. Anyway, I just want to say that, thank you for coming again, thank you. But in the classiness scale, how would you compare San Diego and Boston? Which city is classier?
Well, that's like Sophie's Choice for me. Golly. Well, they're both beautiful cities on the water, even though Boston's harbor is completely fake. Few people know it's an oil painting. It's an actual large oil painting. I would have to say it's very tough. San Diego is near and dear to my heart. It's where I spent most of my career, my fake, non-fictional career. But Boston is a city of charm and great history, discovered by the Japanese. Okay. I think someone should pull the fire alarm right now.
Hi, Ron. Justin Miller from LaSalle College Radio in Newton, Massachusetts. I guarantee you that I'll be coming to your school next year for grad school because I am a senior right now. So Just wanted to make that known. But you recently interviewed...
You haven't graduated yet.
Not yet,
Yep.
but very soon. I'll be here next year. So you
don't
recently...
count your chickens. Tough place to get into.
So you interviewed Peyton Manning recently on ESPN. Now, granted, a lot of people in this room are probably New England Patriots fans. How was that experience, and do you intend to interview Tom Brady anytime soon?
I would. I've asked Tom a handful of times if I could have an interview with him, and he said absolutely no. Under no circumstances could I talk to him. But I've had a number of interviews, not on camera, with Gisele Bündchen. And, she is a highly provocative individual, just a wonderful story, a great interview. So no, I would love to talk to Tom, but apparently he doesn't like me.
Ron, we have time for one last question over here to your right.
Mr. Burgundy, Sam Howell, EIV News. Now, it's been said you have been called the man with the voice that can make a Wolverine purr.
Mm-hmm.
What tips and tricks do you have for aspiring broadcasters who need to work on their voice and articulation?
Well, you of course have to rest your voice at all times. If you can just get in the habit of speaking in a lower octave, whether it be in your sleep or running around about town. A good trick for me is I gargle with day-old bathwater. I draw a bath, I let it sit. The next day, I take a cup of that stuff and I gargle it. And that's what gives me these dulcet tones.
So,
Let me speak on behalf of President Pelton here. It's the best decision he's ever made in his career. Yes.
It is. It's a memorable decision. So I would like to thank you, Ron Burgundy, and all of you for coming today. I want you to enjoy the day and not a minute more, and stay classy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.